it's Michelle with Pink and Maine. Thanks for joining me today. We're going to be creating some fun Galentine's cards. Do you have a best friend or a few best friends out there and you celebrate Galentine's? Well, let's make some cards for our besties. All right, I've got everything cut out and ready to go for our first card. We're going to be doing a little bit of ink blending. So let's get ready to do that first. So a lot of times I save the backing or inserts from our stencils and I do my ink blending right over the top of that, kind of like scratch paper, so it doesn't go to waste. I'm using our Hearts Aplenty stencil. Just going to add a fun multi-heart background. I've got a white piece of paper cut out to layer on the card. I'm going to be using our Dress Shop ink pad, a nice bright dark pink, and I am using our sponge dauber wands. I love these. These are by the Maker Session. We sell them in different colors. They come with some replacement sponges, so you get lots of use out of them. You can use the sponges for different colors. You can easily replace them when they go bad. They do last a good long time. You pop the little sponge out. Make sure you hold the plastic around it when you're pulling it out, and you don't want to pull the sponge. And you just replace it with a new one. We also sell the replacement sponges. I like these. They're easy to hold in your hand. And they're super easy to use to add ink to your paper. You just kind of do an up and down, just dabbing it, dabbing the ink on over the stencil. They hold a lot of ink, so if you want a lighter look, you may want to tap it off onto a scratch paper before you add it to the paper that's for your project. But again, they're very simple and easy to use, easy to hold in your hand. I like that they have two ends, so if I wanted to add another color with that other end, I could easily do so. I'm also going to kind of pick up some of the excess ink from the stencil. Just kind of dab that into the paper as well. And usually to kind of clean the sponge dauber up, I will tap it into my microfiber cloth a couple times just to get the excess ink off and then put it away for next time. Okay, so I'm going to leave the bottom portion of my paper with no ink on it because I'm going to cover that with some pattern paper on my card. So here's our panel, and I will wipe up my stencil a little bit later. All right, and now we're ready to start to assemble our card. Just going to make some sweet and simple Galentine's cards today. So I've got an A2 card base that's top folding. So it's 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 when folded. I've cut with our scalloped rectangle die this piece of our Lakeside cardstock. It's a beautiful teal. So I'm going to glue that down to the card base. And then here's our panel that we just stenciled the hearts onto. We're not going to glue that down quite yet. First, we're going to add our pattern paper to the bottom of it. And this pattern paper is from our Year-Round Plaids 2 paper pad. So it has a bit of that teal in there, some reds and pinks. It looks great with the colors of the card. So I'm going to go ahead and glue that down to the bottom of that panel. There we go. And wherever we have two patterns that are coming together, I always like to add like either a strip of paper to put in between just kind of as a border, or I love to add ribbon. So I've got some coordinating ribbon that I had in my stash, and I'm just going to put some adhesive on the back of the ribbon on the two ends, because I'm going to wrap those two ends around the panel. There we go, just wrap that around the back and adhere it. And that leaves it loose on the front because I'm going to tie a knot to this, and I like to leave it loose so I can put the other ribbon underneath it. Now we can glue this panel down to our card front. Here's our card so far. I love the hearts with the little plaid at the bottom. So this sheet is one of our glitter papers in our glitter paper packs, and it's like a white iridescent glitter. It's really pretty. I took our die. I can't remember the name of this, but it has a heart with like a starburst pattern around it. So what we're going to use is the heart. And the reason it's all together here is on the back of the glitter paper, I added our adhesive sheets. So I added an adhesive sheet to the back of the glitter paper, and then I die cut it. So actually the back of this here is like the release paper from the adhesive sheet. So basically it makes this die cut like a large sticker. So I'm just going to be using the heart out of this. I will save this and I can use the other pieces on a different card. I love how this heart already has part of it cut off here. I did want the heart to just kind of go off the edge there and just look like a little heart that's going off the edge of the paper. I'm going to go ahead and tie my little knot. I tie a knot with the ribbon. I like to put a little dab of liquid adhesive where my knot is going to go. It just kind of holds it in place, keeps it permanent. And then I slide the ribbon underneath, and then I just tie a simple simple knot. Once I tie my knot, I kind of press it down into that adhesive. Pressing it down also flattens it a little bit so it's not too bulky on the card. And then I'm just going to trim the ends with some scissors. Here's our card so far. All of the hearts, the plaid, and then we've got this glittery, sparkly heart here. Now, the last thing to do is to add our image. This is from our Galentine stamp set. I've got these two little girls. They're going out for drinks here. And then I've stamped and die cut the sentiment Galentine. So I'm going to put the girls in the heart and then put the sentiment underneath. I've added some of our foam tape to the back of these just to give them a little dimension on the card. There we go. That's super cute. I can't wait to send this to one of my friends. I hope they're not watching. For our next card, we're going to do just a tad of foiling. So go ahead and turn my Pink and Main ink machine on. And we're just going to be foiling a black toner sheet. We're basically making our own foiled paper. That's what I want, is just a foiled piece of paper. So if you're going to cover the entire piece of paper, use the black toner sheets. I kind of brushed it off with my finger. You can use a soft cloth or brush. Just want to make sure there's no dust or debris or pet hairs that get in between your foil and that toner paper. So I place the black toner sheet inside. See, I already see a piece of fuzz or something there. That will interfere with the foil a little bit. And then you put the foil pretty side up on top of the black toner sheet. I'm using our shattered pink foil. It's beautiful. Looks like shattered glass, but it's all pink with facets of different colors. Really pretty. Our ink machine is already ready. It just takes under 3 minutes to heat up. We just put that straight in, and I kind of use my hands underneath it to support it to keep it going in straight and even. And I'm not going to be doing any more foiling for this, so I'm just going to flip the machine off at the back, slide it a little bit out of our way. Okay, we can remove this from our transfer folder. But you want this to be cool to the touch before you do the peel and reveal. I know it's hard to wait. You got to have a little patience. But once it's cool, you can peel it away, and you can see we've used the entire piece of foil there. And we have our gorgeous, we made our own foil paper basically. Look at that. Now you can die cut this with any die that you like, but we just made our own foiled paper. And my plan for this was actually to cover most of it up, but I just wanted a bit of foil showing through. So I have our polka heart cover die. I cut out a black cardstock, and I'm just going to glue that over my foiled piece of paper, and you're going to have foiled hearts showing through. So pretty. So let's adhere these to the card. For this cover die, I'm just going to put thin line of glue around the outside of the die, just around the edges. Really thin amount. Don't need much at all. And then I'm just going to put some little thin lines of glue in between the hearts here and there. I'm not going to worry about covering the entire thing, just getting enough on here to hold the panel down to the card. And here's our card so far. Oh, I love that. So pretty. You can do some really fun and unique things with your foil and foilables. And creating your own foil paper is one of the fun things that I love to do. Next, I've cut out of our Salon pink cardstock one of our doodled heart dies, and it takes up a nice big portion of the card. So I'm going to glue that down to my card front. There we go. And then I've got our cute little gal here, and she's peeking over a heart. The heart kind of ties everything together. So I'll put her over here on this side of the heart, and then down in this lower portion of the heart over here, I've got the sentiment, "Will you be my Galentine?" So I put a little foam tape on the back of these just to pop them up a bit. So our Galentine stamp set has the coordinating dies that you can get to go with it, and the coordinating dies will cut out the sentiments as well. So that's fun. And there's our next card. It's a little bit of sparkle and shine in the background. It's just enough. Super cute. And our last card's going to go together nice and quick. It's just a simple and sweet card using some layers of cardstock and pattern paper. I have a side folding A2 size card base. If you don't know, we sell these A2 size card bases. We have them in side folding, top folding, and we have slimline card bases that are pre-cut and scored. So all you have to do is open the package and the card base is ready to go. You fold it, you're ready to decorate it. I love them because, one, they're so easy just to fold and go, and one that does not like cutting card bases and scoring them. I always get something crooked. And two, I love them because they're nice, sturdy, 110-pound cardstock weight. So these are nice heavyweight cards. They're going to feel good in your hands. They're going to hold up to everything that you add to the front of them or anything you want to add to the inside. They're nice, sturdy, quality card bases. So for the front, I've used our stitched rectangles set 1 and set 2. They layer together really nicely and they give that nice little stitched border. I've cut out our lakeside cardstock, and you can see just how gorgeously that matches the teal in our Year-Round Plaids 2 paper pad. Love that nice bold pink and teal plaid. So we're going to add these to the card base first. Here's our card base so far. Simple, sweet. 2 layers, colored cardstock and pattern paper. Next, out of our stitched rectangles set 1, I cut a white piece of cardstock to layer on top of a scalloped rectangle that I cut from our dress shop cardstock. Before I glue these together, I want to add a little ribbon. So I'm going to go ahead and glue my scalloped rectangle down to my card. And I'm just going to put that in the center. So I'm just going to add the ribbon to the white cardstock. I've got a short piece here that I'm going to wrap around. So I'm just going to add some adhesive to the ends on the back. And I just want to eyeball. I want to have enough room at the bottom of the ribbon to add my sentiment. So I'm just going to place it there and see about where I want to add the ribbon. And I simply wrap that around, just like so. So it's just a little ribbon accent. I love adding ribbon to my cards. I've often thought about selling ribbon again. We had some for a little while, but I don't know. Do you like adding ribbon to your cards? Would you like us to sell ribbon in our pink and Maine colors? Leave me a comment and let me know. So now I can glue this panel down to my card front as well. I know a lot of us have ribbon in our stash. I've been making cards for, let's see, it's 2024. So I've been making cards for about 25, 26 years. And I have lots of things in my stash. And I have lots of ribbon. I love ribbon. So if you have ribbon in your stash, don't be afraid to pull it out and use it if you like it. You don't always have to go with what's trending or what's popular. Make things that make you happy, and if ribbon makes you happy, use the ribbon. That's what I say. Now I want to tie a knot off to the side, so I'm going to add a dot of adhesive on the ribbon that's on the card of where I want my knot to go. And then I just wrap the other piece underneath it and tie a simple knot. Pull it tight, and then I flatten it with my finger. Just push it in that adhesive, and also to give it a little bit flatter appearance. It's not too bulky. And then I'm just going to trim the ends with my scissors. Here's our card so far. I just love that finished look that ribbon gives. It's just the texture of it and just that finished little pop of something extra. So I've added some foam tape to the back of my sentiment as well as my stamped image just to give some dimension. So I'm going to place that underneath the ribbon that says Best Friends Forever. How fun. And I've got my two little gals here. Just add them on top of the ribbon. That ribbon just kind of pulls everything together as well. And there's our third card. Super cute. I think on this one, before we're finished, I want to add some enamel dots. So these are our glossy dots. They're silver glossy dots. I just want to add a few of these. They add a little extra sparkle and shine. There we go. They just add that little finishing touch, little sparkle and shine. Can always add a little bling. Thanks again for joining me today. I hope you've enjoyed these little Galentine cards that we made. I can't wait to send them to my friends. I hope it inspires you to pull out our Galentine set and make some cards for your friends as well. Until next time, keep living the creative life.